John Blake presents Prey, written by Cassie Pike and read by Lucy Price-Lewis. Prologue, 22nd of July, 2011. Keep it together, Cassie. I breathed heavily. Sitting in the back seat of the police car, I felt the panic beginning to rise in my chest. We passed the turning for Manchester ages ago, and I thought that's where Pete and June were taking me. So, are we not stopping here? I asked, as we whizzed past the turn-off from the motorway. No, Pete said gently. Not here. Just relax, Cassie. It's going to be a long drive. I let the gentle hum of the car soothe me, and exhausted, I dozed off. I woke with a start a while later. The landscape passing by the window looked different somehow. More cows and countryside, not so many buildings. Where are we going? I had no idea, and some part of me didn't want to know. I just wanted to get far away from it all, far away from the horrible life I'd been living for far too long. My phone buzzed insistently in my pocket. It had been ringing non-stop since we left Halifax, though I didn't recognise any of the numbers. Now a text pinged into my inbox. Hiya, sexy. Are you coming out? And then another. Cassie, want to come for a chill? I sighed and put my phone back in my pocket. I don't want to take their calls anymore, don't want to answer their texts. I want nothing more to do with any of them. I lay my hand on the carrier bags next to me. Inside, 2 empty vodka bottles clinked together. I peered into the bag and was relieved to find a third was still half full. At least I can have a drink soon. The booze was left over from my 16th birthday the day before. I hadn't done much for the occasion, just went to the park and bought something to drink. Some of the men turned up and drank with me. The best thing was when social services arrived with money to buy new clothes. We went to New Look and I got a few new tops and leggings. It was a relief, because for the past few years, all I'd had to wear were hand-me-downs from my sisters. If I wanted anything new, I had to steal it. Afterwards, I had a little money left over, so I got a spray tan. It felt nice to be given a treat, even if it was by social services. It was more than my dad had ever given me. The last time he'd remembered my birthday, he'd given me a blank card to fill in myself. It was all over now with my dad. There was no going back. He didn't want me at home anymore. In fact, he didn't want me anywhere near him. I'd asked to go back to visit the family, but he told me no. And the one time I turned up near his house, he whacked me over the head. For the past few weeks I'd been living at the foster carers and hadn't seen any of my family. I hadn't even been at the foster carers all that much, though. The pickups had become so frequent that I barely spent any time in the house at all. The guys would come by, put me in a car and take me away for the night, or longer. Sometimes I'd disappear for days at a time. The booze and all the drugs wiped me out for hours, and I'd wake up a couple of days later, God knows where, with my clothes around my ankles. Sometimes they took me back to Halifax, sometimes I'd have to get back on my own. And the foster carers couldn't do a thing about it. They seemed like nice people, but they were clueless. And I was homesick. All I wanted was to pop into my dad's place for a cup of tea and a chat, maybe catch up with my sister Tammy. But it all went very wrong. I'd bumped into Dad outside Betfred, which was near the house, and just the sight of me seemed to make him mad. "What do you think you're doing here?" he shouted at me on the street, his face contorted in rage. He didn't care who was listening. "What the fuck are you doing here, Kaz?" He didn't wait for a reply, just rolled up the racing post and started whacking me on the head with it. The blows themselves didn't hurt as much as his words. "Go away, Kaz. Go on, get lost. We're sick of you. Sick of it all. And you're not welcome back." "Dad, please, will you just let me come to the house?" "No," he roared. "You've fucked it all up. Look what you've done. You've destroyed the family. It's all your fault, the whole situation. You're not welcome at the house anymore." I started to cry. "Look at the state of you," he spat, disgusted. "Look at you. You're an embarrassment." I hardly knew what I looked like anymore. When did I last change? I couldn't remember. I pulled
Sample complete. Ready to continue?